Okay, so we're going to quickly go through 9-1, and then we're going to get into 9-2, which is more the meat of this section. But first, a sequence. A sequence is an ordered list of numbers. The term in a sequence. Each number in the sequence can be represented by using a variable as the subscript number to indicate its position in the sequence. For example, a sub 5, that 5 is written lower, that's the subscript. That means it's the fifth term in the sequence. So the explicit formula describes the nth term of the sequence, where you can find any term in the sequence using the explicit formula. For example, given the sequence 2, 4, 6, 8, the nth term is twice the value of n. So since a is the first term, 2 times 1 is 2. 8 is the fourth term, 2 times 4 is 8. So that means 2 times n is the explicit formula. So here for this example, a sequence has an explicit formula. A sub n is equal to 3n minus 2. What are the first 10 terms of this sequence? Well, what I can do, 3 times 1 minus 2, that's going to give me the first term because I plugged in 1 for n. So 3 times 1 minus 2, I'm sorry, I wrote that wrong. Let me start over. Let's do, to find a sub 1, we're going to do 3 times 1 minus 2. I had my parentheses wrong before. So what this is going to be is 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. So a sub 1 is equal to 1. A sub 2, 3 times 2 becomes 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. So a sub 2 is equal to 4. A sub 3, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. A sub 4, 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. Excuse me. A sub 5 is 3 times 5 is 15. So go ahead and finish this. I'm going to pause it and do the rest. So two things to understand here. One, in order to find a specific term in a sequence, you can use the explicit formula by plugging that term number in for the n. And number two, notice, and you probably noticed what was happening each time here. Every time I was adding a 3, basically, is what was happening for every term. So that was the pattern. All right, so now we're going to move on. Sorry, you should have gone and tried this you try. I'll give you the answers at the end. Now we're going to go on to 9-2. And 9-2 is an arithmetic sequences. An arithmetic sequence is where the difference between two consecutive terms is the same number. It's a constant. And that constant is called the common difference. It's the difference between each term in an arithmetic sequence. And that common difference is represented by the variable d. So an arithmetic sequence with starting value of a and common difference of d is the sequence of the form here. So a is really going to be a1 because that represents the first term. So you have a1, then a1 plus the common difference, then a1 plus another common difference, which is going to be a1 plus 2d, and so on. This is the formula that you need to know. This is the explicit formula for an arithmetic sequence. The n is the term number, the d is the common difference, a1 is the first term, and an is the nth term. A specific term in the sequence, either that you're looking for or that you're given. So first we have to decide if these sequences are arithmetic or not. And they are arithmetic. Basically, if you can add the same number, add or subtract actually, every time to get the next term. So to go from 3 to 6, I would have to add 3. So if I do that every time, then this is an arithmetic sequence. And because I can, then yes, it is. And the common difference, which is represented as D, is what you're adding or subtracting every time. So the common difference is 3. Here, to go from 1 to 4, I would subtract 3, but to go from, I would add 3, but to go from 4 to 9, I add 5, to go from 9 to 16, I add 7, and to go from 16 to 25, I add 9. So there is a pattern here, but you're not adding the same number every time, so this is not arithmetic. So in this one, what is the 100th term of the arithmetic sequence that begins with 6, 11, and so on? So you're going to use that formula, and I'm going to plug all the parts in. I'm trying to find the 100th term. So my A1 is the first term, that's 6. My N is the 100, because I'm trying to find the 100th term. I plug in 100 for N. And my common difference, well, what's the difference between 6 and 11 is going to be 5. So I have 6 plus 99 times 5. And 99 times 5 becomes 495. 6 plus 495 becomes 501. And that's the 100th term. What are the second and third terms of the arithmetic sequence here? Well, I know the 100th term, or the first term is 100. The fourth term is 82. So I'm going to use the information I know. I know the first term is 100. I don't know the common difference. But what else I know is I know that A sub 4 is equal to 82. So if I use A sub 4 here, that means I would plug in 4 for N. And now the only thing I'm missing is this common difference, because I know that A sub 4 is equal to 82. So now I can solve it. So I have 82 is equal to, there should be a plus in here, 100 plus, and 4 minus 1 is 3, so that's 3 times D. And now I can solve it. Subtract 100, I get negative 18 is equal to 3D, divide by 3, and my common difference is equal to negative 6. Well, when your common difference is negative, that means you're going to be subtracting a number every time, not adding it. So I'm going to actually go up here to finish. So I have 100 minus 6 is going to be 94. And then 94 minus another 6 is going to be 88. And if you subtract 6 again, that comes back to that 82. So my two missing terms are 94 and 88. Now, if there's only one missing term in the sequence, that means that's called, you can use the arithmetic mean to find that missing term. The middle term of any three consecutive numbers is the arithmetic mean, or the average of the other two numbers. So what I can do, I can add these two, and that's the arithmetic mean that I'm finding, 15 plus 59, and divide by 2. So 15 plus 59 becomes 74. 74 divided by 2 becomes 37. Let me check that. I didn't use a calculator. So that means that's the middle term. And if I go ahead and figure out what that common difference is, well, one way you can find the common difference, if you're not sure, take the second term and subtract the first term. 37 minus 15 becomes 22. And then if I add 22 to 37, that becomes 59. So this is that middle term. It's the arithmetic mean. Okay, this is a word problem. They're all the same though, same thing. Number seats in the first 13 rows in a section of an arena form an arithmetic sequence. So they're telling you it forms an arithmetic sequence. Row 1, so that's going to be the first term, and row 2 are shown. So it shows row 1 has 14 seats. Row 2, which is the second term, has 16 seats. How many seats are in row 13? Well, that means my A1 is 14. My common difference is 2 because I added 2 to get from 14 to 16. And the n that I'm trying to find, the 13th row, my n is going to be 13. So I have A sub 13 is going to be 14 plus 13 minus 1 times my common difference, which is 2. 14 plus 12 times 2, 14 plus 24 is equal to 38. So that means in the 13th row, there are 38 seats. And that's it. Go ahead and try the U-tries for these. And from the worksheets that I gave, and you can check them when you get back to school or check them the next day.